All right, looks like we're live. Let's make sure it's going out okay on the old YouTubes. Uh, Come on. Everything sound okay? And, all right, sounds fine. I don't expect to be getting a lot of people listening live as it is 3:10 in the AM here on the East Coast. And, real nibba hours. So I don't expect a lot of real nibbas to be up. But I know some of you, maybe you're getting up for work, you poor fucking bastard. Maybe you're just getting home. I don't know. Maybe you live in some part of the world that doesn't matter because it's not the United States, and therefore it doesn't matter because it doesn't have its flag on the moon. I don't know. I don't know, but we are going to be streaming at this ungodly hour of the morning because this is when the normies aren't here, and that's what we like. No, I work second shift. I work particularly late second shift with a little bit of overtime I've been working, so I'm just up. And some stuff to talk about. There's some stuff to talk about. Now, I am still monetized, folks. So if you are listening live and you want to hit that super chat button, by all means, you can also, do the PayPal, Patreon, and Amazon wish list to support the show. For now, honestly, I don't expect. It looks like the great Vox adpocalypse storm hasn't affected me. And if I'm being honest, this might sound a little arrogant. Maybe I'm jinxing it, so knock on wood over here. But I don't suspect it will. I'm super, super tiny. Nobody gives a fuck about me. Okay. You have 5 people watching right now. Now granted, it is 3:10 in the morning, so that's not my usual numbers. But yeah, nobody gives a shit about me. Also, I do fully expect the day will come. The day will come when the great digital reaper comes for me. Don't get me wrong. But it's not going to be something like this. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen to me when I get showed. It's going to be, I laughed at some right-wing locale and they got butthurt, or their fans got butthurt, or a combination of the two. And that's what's going to get me kicked off. Okay. My first ever strike came from laughing at Mike Enoch, calling him a liar because he was lying out of his lying hole. But that was cyberbullying, and maybe it wasn't him. I don't know if he even knows I exist. But certainly a bunch of his fanboys got me showed. I fully expect one day, maybe Davis might pull some shit like that, or his fucking boyfriend Anonymous Bosch. That wouldn't surprise me. If this channel's gone, that's one of the suspects right there for you. Mike and Isimoff, which I don't suspect that's the real Mike and Isimoff. In the chat says you're getting banned because I called you a liar. I have fanboys. No, Mike Enoch. Didn't I say Mike Enoch? Or did I say Mike and Isimoff? No, Mike Enoch. The guy at the butt stuff touches. I called him a liar because he was lying. He was out there saying Aaron Clary promotes banging trannies and a bunch of other shit. Talking a bunch of other shit on Clary. That was just not true. But anyways, we got some stuff to talk about here. We're not going to just Mikey Knock, Mike and Isimoff. What's the difference? Well, if you're Julie Borarski, there's a big difference. But no, let's. We got some stuff to talk about here. I'm not going to talk. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about the adpocalypse a little bit more here. But for now, I want to check out an article that I saw earlier. I haven't read this yet, but I said numerous times that the big failure in the right here, in the dissident right, alt-right, whatever you want to call it, in the broad sense of the term, was we failed 2018. And I was saying back in 2016, I was saying election night, we have to use this momentum. We have to primary out GOP rhinos and, in safe red districts. And That's what we have to do. We didn't do that on this side. The left, however, did that. The big brown buffalo, Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh from the Young Turds. He got a few photogenic, charming candidates, far left, and primaried out some Democrats. The most notable, of course, is AOC. The left did exactly what we should have done. We didn't try to do that. We didn't even try. You can't even say, "Oh, we failed." Like, yeah, I know, somebody like Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have quite the same barriers in front of them that some alt-right or dissident right guys would have if they were trying to fund some candidates. I get it. But we didn't even try. Who's the only dissident right guy we ran? Was like, what was that guy? I'm blanking on the name. Oh, I'm having a brain fart where I can't think of his name. But he's the asshole that doxed Ricky Vaughn. Like, he spent all his time fucking around doxing Ricky Vaughn and fighting with people on Gab and dumb shit like that. It was a joke. Well, the left is still doing this. The left is still planning on primarying out, the establishment Democrats and replacing them with, progressive newcomers. Paul Nealon. Thank you, chat. Paul Nealon. That's the guy I was thinking of. So we got somebody over at, this is off BuzzFeed News. For those of you playing at home, I'm not going to bother doing screen share because I'm lazy. But yeah, BuzzFeed News. So it's good. But inspired by AOC, a young progressive woman is trying to take down the second most powerful, here we go, the second most powerful Democrat in the House. McKaylee Wilkes, inspired by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, sees her focus on Medicare for all and the Green New Deal as a way to beat Representative Steny Hoyer. And this is, by the way, reporting from Waldorf, Maryland. My fucking hometown. Represent. The old stomping ground. Waldorf, Maryland. About 6 months after, I haven't read this, by the way. I just kind of saw it earlier today and saved it to talk about. We'll probably talk about it Saturday too. About 6 months after Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. When was this? This is current. Yeah, this is current. About 6 months after Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez beat a powerful House Democrat, McKaylee Wilkes, a 28-year-old student living in Maryland, Googled, "What do you need to run for Congress?" "How old do you have to be?" she asked the unknown search machine. "What do you have to do?" Now, I'm sure that, look, I had already told her, they're going to spin the narrative, that she had no fucking help. I'm sure there were some progressive, I'm sure somebody got behind her, maybe the Young Turds or whatever, she had some groups backing her up. My point being, why didn't people in the dissident right try and fund and prep some candidates to get out there? I'll tell you why. Because everybody in the dissident right was too concerned about being little media stars. Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh just quietly did that shit. Imagine if, back when he still had money, Richard Spencer would have funded some candidates or something like that. Or even Alex Jones, because I'm a bit more in line with Jones's politics than Spencer's. What if he'd have done that? Instead of just selling us fucking boner pills and shit like that. I don't get me wrong, I like Alex Jones. I think he's a bit goofy at times, but he's definitely one of the more honest and one of the more trustworthy of these dissident right types, especially on the alt-right side. But I mean, why were we out fucking? Why did the big brown buffalo Chunk Yu-Gi-Oh turn out to be more clever than us? Because I'm pretty sure that guy has a room temperature IQ. Huh. So, a call to the state board of elections, and $150 later, Wilkes was running for Congress, hoping to replicate Ocasio-Cortez's success and unseat one of the most powerful Democrats in the country. The mother of two is mounting a progressive primary challenge to House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer. I did not know Steny Hoyer was representing the old hometown there, Waldorf, Maryland. Arguing the 20 term, holy shit, 20 term. Okay, so House of Representatives, 2-year term. That motherfucker been in Congress for 40 years? Good Lord. He was my representative growing up. I didn't even realize that. The 20-term member of Congress doesn't represent working people in the district. Quote, he's not for people that are my family, my friends, my coworkers, Wilkes said over dinner in Waldorf, Maryland, about 45 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. Yeah, that's being fucking generous. Maybe with zero traffic, maybe in the middle of the night, Sunday morning, Sunday or something. No, it's probably more than an hour and a half. Traffic's rough down there, especially now, these days. It shows in the policies that he sponsors and that he endorses, and it shows in the donors that he gets his contributions from. In a statement shared with BuzzFeed News, Hoyer campaign spokesman Annalise Davis said it is Congressman Hoyer's policy to accept legal contributions and to pursue policies he believes are in the best interest of our country and his district, irrespective of such contributions. Wilkes, who declared in February and whose campaign will officially kick off this weekend, has a lot in common with Ocasio-Cortez, the woman who inspired her to run. She's also a young woman of color trying to defeat an older white man who spent more than 3 decades in Congress. She's running on a platform of Medicare for all and the Green New Deal. Oh, jeez. Oh, man, the Green New Deal. That is some bad shit stuff. 2 progressive priorities that Hoyer has declined to support. Wilkes also supports impeaching Donald Trump. Fucking Trump, am I right? While Hoyer and the rest of the House Democrat leadership have declined to go that far. Quote, the thing is, I've always wanted to pass legislation. That's a weird thing to say. I've always wanted to pass legislation and help those like myself who are going through these things. What would really embolden me was AOC running and seeing that if someone like her can get into Congress, then someone like me can get into Congress, Wilkes said. Scrolling down. Wilkes faces some unique challenges. The effort to recreate Ocasio-Cortez's success will likely be more difficult in Maryland's 5th district, in part because the population is 60% white. New York's 14th, on the other hand, which Ocasio-Cortez represents, is just 18% white. Oh, good Lord. But Wilkes could get a boost from the fact that it's a presidential election year, which historically turns out younger, more diverse voters. And Hoyer has had primary challengers before, defeating recent candidates by 60 points or more. Good heavens. I think I don't know if she'll take it from him or not. I don't know. I don't really have my finger on the pulse of how popular he is. Mr. Hoyer enjoys wide and deep support in the district, and he continually meets with constituents across the district to hear directly from them about the issues they care about. This includes affordable health care, affordable housing, creating jobs, and combating climate change, his spokesman said. But Wilkes is a different kind of candidate and hopes that her personal experience with the issues, from healthcare to criminal justice, will appeal to voters. She's a rare candidate who talks openly about both her criminal record and the fact that she had an abortion. Oh, I hope she wins. That's the... Oh, man. Oh, that's fucking funny. Oh. Yes, please let her win. Oh, man. Because it's a Democrat seat anyways. It's not like the Republicans were going to take it. So if it's going to be a fucking Democrat, let it be all fucking out there, Democrat. Oh, yes. Let's. That's fantastic. Oh, man. Soon after declaring her candidacy, Wilkes revealed she spent time in jail, an acknowledgement that featured prominently in an ad produced by her upstart campaign. She's just putting it out there. I kind of it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for her. After her aunt was killed in the 9/11 attacks, Wilkes says she began skipping school and running away from home, which landed her in juvenile detention at age 15. just for skipping school. I don't know. I guess running away from home. I don't know. I think you got to do more than that to get in juvie. Quote, they never found her body, and they, now that I think about it, aren't juvie records sealed? Like it ends up on your record that you were in juvie, but like, isn't it like nobody knows why those records are sealed, kind of thing? I don't know if she'd be in forthright with what happened here. We'll continue. They never found her body. They just declared her dead, Wilkes said. So if you can just imagine, for like years, thinking that maybe your aunt is still out there somewhere, I started to act out maybe when I was about 13 or 14, which is when I started to realize that she wasn't here anymore because I was starting to hit milestones in my life. Your first period, your first boyfriend. In 2014, Wilkes was jailed for driving with a suspended license. She was 7 months pregnant. Oh, good heavens. And she just couldn't afford to pay her tickets and couldn't afford not to drive, or she'd risk losing her job. She ended up spending 2 nights in jail. I just don't want any secrets, she said, of going public about her record. I want everything to be out there. It's not like I'm the only person who goes through these things. She hopes to use that experience to overhaul the criminal justice system. Oh, she a good girl. She didn't do nothing, including ending the war on drugs and reducing exorbitant fees for phone calls made from jail. I thought the phone call from jail was free. Now, oh, the first one is okay. I guess the other ones are. Well, I wouldn't be I gotta be honest. I wouldn't be opposed to either one of those things she just said. Okay. I'm not a fan of the drug war by any stretch. And I don't know. I mean, I think you can let people in jail use the phone. I don't know. At least for not exorbitant. I don't know anything about that, by the way, so I don't know what the fees are or something. I just, I'm just not necessarily opposed to it, is what I'm saying. I major in political science, and my goal, which is still my goal, is to get my bachelor's and to go to law school and work for the state attorney's office to help people that are in my situation, to make sure that they're not being exploited and not being criminalized for being impoverished, Wilkes said. People that are just not knowledgeable about the system, just don't understand. Let's see. Wilkes has also been open about her abortion. She was 19 years old and 12 weeks along when she had the procedure done nearly a decade ago. Quote, it's not like it's something easy to do, she told BuzzFeed News on Sunday. It's not an easy decision to make, but I feel like women should have the right. My body is not a political playground. There's no room for brackets, politicians on brackets, in the room with me and my doctor. Wilkes knows her background isn't traditional for congressional candidate. No shit. But she argues her personal experience with the issues gives her the needed perspective. Right now, she's working as an administrative assistant at the Pentagon on a contract that will end Friday. How the hell, when you got a criminal record? Okay, well, I guess the juvie thing gets sealed, and I don't know, 2 nights in jail because it's suspended. That's not. I was gonna say though, don't you gotta fucking have some sort of strict background check to be working at the fucking Pentagon? I would think. Like, even if you're just, I don't know, working a fucking concession stand at the Pentagon or some shit, don't you usually got to be able to pass a background check, don't you? Like, even I know the civilian workers on military bases have to pass background checks. If she doesn't have a new job by the end of the month, she'll be without insurance. She has high blood pressure. She's a little on the tubby side, by the way, folks. A little on the hefty side. I'm not necessarily want to talk, but she's a little on the hefty side. She has high blood pressure, and she's concerned she won't be able to get her medication. Quote, it scares the crap out of me. What am I going to do? Is the Affordable Care Act going to help me? She mused, picking at a garden salad. No, sweetie, it's not going to help you. It's going to penalize you for not having insurance. Although I guess they did away with that now. Your hated guy Trump did away with that. But yeah, it doesn't help anybody. Okay. It's just, oh, you can't afford health insurance? Well, here's a fucking fine for being poor or unemployed. That's what the Affordable Care Act fucking did. Um, that's also what sets me apart from Hoyer and the majority of people in Congress, Wilkes said, because I will not be able to sleep at night knowing that I'm denying my sister health care, or that I'm denying my friend a place to live, or that I'm denying my classmate a place to live. So for me, it's personal. Wilkes said that if elected, she wouldn't support House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, pointing to the Speaker's refusal to support impeachment and her recent comment that a glass of water could have won Ocasio-Cortez's district in the general election. There's a fucking civil war in the Democratic Party. Like, make no mistake. Um, these young upstarts, these young progressive upstarts, they they don't care for the Democratic establishment. You gotta there's a bit of a parallel here, and I'm not trying to create a total moral equivalency or something here. But you gotta understand there's something of a parallel between the alt left and the establishment Democrat Party and the alt right and the establishment Republican Party. And I'm saying alt right in the broadest sense of the term, not just white nationalists, but just dissident right. Now, the difference being is that the alt left, and again, they don't necessarily have the same kind of the same level of um, obstacles in their way, but the alt left is actually fucking getting shit done in moving their party in their direction. Okay, because they're actually trying to primary out establishment types with all sorts of colorful progressives, whereas the alt-right was a little too busy having fucking goon rallies with tiki torches and fucking their mother-in-laws to get any of that shit done. So, yeah, there's some interesting parallels between the two, and there's actually some interesting kind of common ground. Now, I mean, the hatred is so much on both sides that but who knows? I mean, you saw kind of Ted Cruz working with AOC here recently. But there's some common ground when it comes to kind of stuff like campaign finance reform. I've said on here a couple of times I could completely support the anti-usury shit that Bernie and AOC were proposing. It's not exactly how I think it should be tackled. I would prefer you just loosen up bankruptcy laws rather than cap interest rates on consumer credit. But it's a start. It addresses a real problem. Um, and there's a reason that most every major world religion and most civilizations through history have reined in usury. Anti-usury laws used to be incredibly popular in the red states, in the very, very conservative red states. The Republican Party, if it thinks it's going to, win the day being the party of the banksters, you're going to be sorely fucking disappointed. Where were we? Wilkes notably isn't the only challenger in the race. Civil rights lawyer and former teacher Brianna Urbina has declared her own bid and is running on a platform nearly identical to Wilkes, prioritizing Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, criminal justice, and affordable housing. Urbina's campaign has formally launched later this month. She told BuzzFeed News she quit her job to run for Congress and campaign full-time, something she says makes her unique among the field of candidates. Well, it sounds like Wilkes going to be joining you in the unemployed. Vote for me. I need a job. By the way, she ought to fucking make like a joke about that. Vote for me. I need a job. That'd be fucking hilarious. Like I think it would just endear her more to her fucking base. I'm telling you, I hope she fucking wins. Yes, like let's get the black woman who's been in jail and had an abortion to lecture us, and that this please, just for the sheer popcorn spectacle of it all. Yes, that is exactly. Um, That is exactly what I want to see happening. Let's see. But Wilkes stand. Oh, do we have Luke in here? I'm hearing something in the background.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Hey, Luke, how's it going?
All right, what's up?
We're just discussing a new candidate for Congress. Somebody is trying to primary out Denny Hoyer down in Maryland. Coming straight out of my hometown of Waldorf, Maryland, we have an overweight black woman who has been in jail and had an abortion. She is going to and she's going to pull an AOC and she's going to primary this guy out. I'm kind of damn near ready to call it that she's going to get. I kind of hope she does too, because it's just I want shit to be entertaining. But there you go, Luke. If you want to throw up some pictures.
Heaven knows that AOC has been an endless gift that keeps on giving.
I keep telling everybody, man, we need to be learning from AOC and we need to take her more seriously, okay? Because she represents that the alt-left is taking over the Democrat Party while the alt-right is too busy fucking its mother-in-law to do the same. So I don't dismiss. Now this one's a lot goofier than AOC, but don't dismiss her. But Wilk stands to potentially lock down major endorsement early. Brand new Congress, one of the groups behind Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's successful campaign, and a number of other progressive challengers last year, confirmed it is in talks with Wilkes, though it hasn't officially endorsed her. Zainab Day, the group's communication director, told BuzzFeed News in an interview that the group loves Wilkes' story and sees her as a natural fit with their working class slate of candidates. McKaylee's a really interesting case because she's gone through a lot of hardships, Day said. She's lived the experience of people in her district. Coming from Waldorf, I could say yes, a number of people from Waldorf are hoe bags who've been in jail and had an abortion. That's he's not wrong. Day said, though brand new Congress has gotten nominations for other candidates in the districts, they have yet to talk to anyone else. Alexandra Rosa, the executive director of Justice Democrats, another progressive group that worked on Ocasio-Cortez's campaign, said they've also talked to Wilkes. The Rohaj told BuzzFeed News the group intends to talk to other candidates and potential candidates as well. An endorsement from either group could give Wilkes the professional boost the campaign clearly needs. Currently, the campaign has no paid staff. Oh, this is delightful. This is what, dude. If she takes this from fucking Denny Hoyer, oh man, I want her to take this from Denny Hoyer so bad. Fuck you, Denny Hoyer. Oh, dude, I want Denny Hoyer to be unseated by an overweight black woman, single mom with high blood pressure, who's been in jail and had an abortion. I want Denny Hoyer to have to pack up his fucking desk knowing that's who took his fucking job. Oh, dude, I want that so bad. Oh, man. Oh, I wish I fucking lived in Waldorf still. I'd vote for this bitch. Oh, yeah, I would switch my registration over to Democrat just to vote for this bitch. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, Denny Hoyer, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, man. If I could make that happen and savor the look on his face when he gets the news, when he gets the fucking primary results, or see him fucking crying as he packs up his fucking desk. Oh, that'd be fucking delightful, man. Oh, dude. Oh, that'd be fucking great. Oh. I gotta say though, she doesn't have the fuckability quotient that AOC. You know, AOC, you just want to seize the means of reproduction. You know what I'm saying? Denny Hoyer. Why did I keep saying Denny Hoyer? Whatever. That cocksucker. Oh, dude, I want that cocksucker to fucking. I want Shanae over here to fucking take his job so bad. Oh, man. Just do it. Just take his job. Just take his fucking job. Oh. That'd be fucking hilarious. I want to see a debate with them. I want to see her sassy black woman, him into shutting the fuck up. Oh, man, that'd be hilarious. Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. So there we go. She officially has my endorsement. If it means that cocksucker has to pack up his fucking desk, then yes, she officially has. She has the Bechtloff podcast endorsement. You probably heard her more than.
Oh no, she didn't. Oh yes, she did. No, she didn't. Yes, she did. No.
And then Joe screams, "Yes, she did, Peter. I just saw it."
She did. Yes, she did, Peter. I just saw it. All right, take it easy.
I love Family Guy. Wilkes wants to tell her story, she said, but she struggled to find vendors willing to work with her campaign after Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee announced it would not work with any group that supports primary challengers. Ooh, the old guard. The old guard trying to God, I want her to take his seat so bad. That'd be fucking hilarious. Oh man, you fucking swamp son of a bitch. I want you to lose to this woman so bad.
So I take it you're not a fan of this guy.
No, fuck that guy. He's one of those old guard fucking Dems. You know,
like Nancy Pelosi, those kinds.
Yeah, you know the type. He's been there since fucking the Jurassic era. Like, fuck this guy. All right, he is the swamp. Okay. And yeah, if this part of the swamp being drained by fucking Aunt Jemima over here is what it takes, fucking fine. Okay, that I'm okay with that. I'm not even kidding. If I lived in Waldorf still, I would switch my registration over and vote for this. Because I mean, actually, if I lived in Waldorf, I'd probably register as a Democrat anyways, just to mess around in primaries, because there's no fucking way a Republican's taking that district. But yeah, I want this woman to take his fucking seat so bad. Oh, Hoyer, why did I keep saying Steny Hoyer? Why did I keep saying Denny Hoyer? Whatever. He's not worth getting his name right, but yeah, fucking Hoyer. Oh, that son of a bitch. Somebody says Steny looks like one of those quote unquote incumbents for life. I remember my fucking civics teacher explaining to me the sweet gig that congressmen and senators have, that representatives and senators. So if you are a representative, once you get in, you will probably be reelected. Like something like 80-90% chance. Even in swing districts, people tend to be, it's weird. People tend to have a low opinion of Congress in general, but high opinion of their congressman. Don't know why that is, but whatever. So if you get in, if you serve 2 full terms in either the Senate or the House, you will then get, and this might have been changed. Maybe it went up, maybe it went down, but when I was in high school, this was what the law was. You serve 2 full terms in either the Senate or the House. You will then get 80% of your salary annually for the rest of your life, even if you are then serve no more. So as much as I want to see him have to pack up his desk because sassy black woman here took his job, he'll be okay. Okay, trust me, this motherfucker is no doubt a multimillionaire from his job. But okay, so you get 80% of your salary for the rest of your life after only 2 terms. That means a mere 4 years in the House of Representatives guarantees you a decent fucking paycheck for the rest of your days. Also, 2 full terms. Now, for a senator, that's 12 years, but it's only 4 for a representative. 2 full terms, and then you're guaranteed basically free fucking medical insurance the rest of your life. Basically the same kind of deal, the free stuff that guys who do 20 years in the military get.
Sort of kind of like exactly what the fuck we have in LA, New York, San Francisco, Chicago, in short, any fucking where Democrats have enjoyed 9 uninterrupted decades of imperial rule and who could personally shit in the mouth of every citizen in their municipality and still wake up to a piping hot re-election souffle every 4 fucking years.
All right, so Wilkes said she's already heard from voters who say they don't want to give Hoyer the boot, at least in part because having the representative in leadership offers a rare kind of prestige. She also said she's heard repeatedly from people who say she simply isn't qualified for the job. Oh man,
that's kind of a low bar.
I don't know how to put this, but like, in a way, she's kind of more qualified. Ideally, and we're supposed to have the citizen representative, especially in the House. The Senate was more designed to be the elites, but the House was designed to be more connected to the common man. In a very real way, you could very much argue, at least from a leftist perspective, that she's far more qualified than him. You think Hoyer knows what the fuck it's like to live paycheck to paycheck, or knows what the fuck the common man's feeling from the so-called working class party of the Democrats? And I know they've abandoned that long ago, but they still claim it. Like, if there was a right-wing version of this chick, like let's say here in my fucking redneck shithole town of Corryville, right? Let's just say Lancaster County, because I'm not sure how big my fucking district is off the top of my head. But let's say fucking Kyle Smith, who walks around in a wife beater and a fucking Monster energy drink hat all the fucking time, got his truck so tricked out that you're certain his penis is 2 inches max. Fucking redneck to the bone. This motherfucker has put his fist through drywall on multiple occasions, right? Let's say this guy is running from a populist perspective to try and unseat my fucking representative, right? I'm voting for his ass. I am absolutely voting for his ass. Enthusiastically. I am going to be out there canvassing for Monster Energy Drink Kyle Smith. You better fucking believe it. So she's not qualified. I mean, qualified to do what? What the fuck does a representative do? You sit on ass a whole lot. Like, let's be real. I mean, where you represent your, okay, fine. You answer a lot of fucking mail. I mean, what do you do? You gotta sit and fucking, oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, I worked my fucking ass off at the box factory for 9 hours today. So yeah, I came home and immediately had to hop in the shower because I was sweaty and filthy. But at least I didn't have to sit on ass for 2 hours in a day and vote on a bill. That's the real hard work. Oh boy. Qualified. Get the fuck out of here with that. This is another reason I want Hoyer to go. Because he represents that old guard idea that well, I'm a congressman and that takes a special no, you don't do shit. Okay. You got a cushy job and you've managed to fucking make it seem as if you are some big brain nibba blessed from the heavens and only you could do this important job of voting on bills you've never even fucking read. Yeah, you know what? Sassy black mama over here can do your job, Hoyer. Okay? She can easily do your fucking job, okay? I don't care if the most. You know what? She isn't good enough. As far as I'm concerned, never mind her. I want to go find the fucking shift manager at Popeyes at the St. Charles Town Center Mall in Waldorf, Maryland. And I want to elect her to fucking Congress on the Democrat platform. Oh, okay, so she goes on. I just say, I mean, I am qualified. I don't think that someone should have to have a degree or certain generic, so to say, background, she says. I feel like we need people in Congress that are relatable, people that are working class, people that have been through things. I don't have these beliefs because I turn on the news and say, oh, that's bad. I read a book or I know statistics, this is my life. Okay, I almost didn't follow where she was going there. That was so poorly worded. But that's fucking fine. You know what? Honestly, I'm not qualified. Fuck that.
It is no concern of mine whether your family has... What was it again?
Food?
Ha! You really should have thought of that before you became peasants.
Yeah, I'm not going to say, oh, no, she's not qualified. Oh, she's not... Nostalgia woman in the chat. I actually agree. Yeah, no shit, man. And look, I'm not on board with the leftist shit. I mean, especially the new Green Deal shit. That's insane. All right, because first of all, let's be real here. Climate change isn't fucking real. Okay, it's not fucking real. Now, there's a lot of legitimate environmental concerns that need to be dealt with. All right, the Pacific Ocean is full of goddamn plastic. Although that's China doing that, not us. The fucking bee populations are plummeting. That's a major fucking problem. Okay, that is a major fucking problem. All right. Honestly, if the polar ice caps melted and we all had to live in the fucking mountains and do like water world, like that kind of shit, that probably would only be a lateral move at best from what would fucking happen to us if the bee populations just crater. Trust me, if the bees die, they're taking us with us. Are taking us with them. So there's legitimate environmental concerns that don't get addressed, because the companies like Montezuma, what the fuck is not Montez? Monsanto, Montezuma, fucking the ancient Aztec god. Monsanto. They don't want us talking about the bee populations because it's probably the fucking Roundup doing it. All right. They want us talking about this made up horseshit. But here's the other thing. If, and it's a big if climate change was real, the solution to it, as far as I can tell, first of all, America is not the problem. Okay. We run remarkably clean when it comes to air pollution, given our first world status. We run remarkably clean. No, the polluters are like fucking China and Africa and parts of South America. And I'll tell you this right now, if climate change was real, and I don't believe it is, but if it was, the only workable solution would be population control. I don't know how you do that, but the population would need to be reduced. Okay, somebody called Thanos, the fucking population would need to be reduced. All right, if this were real. And it wouldn't need to be reduced here in North America or in Europe. It would need to be reduced in fucking Africa, in fucking China, and most of East Asia, and in parts of South America. But, that's racist. You can't fucking say that. So that's the other reason I don't believe in climate change, is because nobody who's fucking proposing it actually is actually willing to talk about the only workable possible solutions to this problem. Again, if it were real, and it's not.
This is weak.
Address all complaints to the Monsanto Corporation.
But yeah, it's not real. And if it was, no one, like, the Green New Deal's not going to do shit but impoverish us all. Okay, which ironically will cause us to be bigger polluters. That's the other interesting thing. Higher standards of living generally help the environment. Okay. Conservation is the rich man's hobby. All right. When you're starving to death, you don't give a shit about the environment. Okay. But yeah, China is the biggest thing right there. China is the biggest polluter in this world. Okay. China is polluting our planet so fucking brutally. It's almost an act of war against the entire rest of this fucking planet. Okay. So don't come to me bitching about climate change or the fucking plastic in the ocean or any shit like that if you're not willing to point the finger where it fucking belongs. Okay. Motherfucker, the pollution over China can be seen from the fucking moon. All right, don't tell me, oh, we gotta reduce pollution here in the United States. Get fucked. Get fucked. Okay.
That sounds serious.
Very serious, Mayor Poopenmeyer.
But I gotta be sure this isn't another scientific fraud like global warming or secondhand smoke.
But yeah, like I said, the stuff like the anti-usury thing. Okay, fine. Some of the criminal justice reform, I don't know. I mean, I don't like siding with the "he a good boy didn't do nothing" crowd, but there's definitely some issues that need addressed there. But yeah, the Green New Deal shit, that's batshit insane. So that was the hopefully the brand new representative from my hometown of Waldorf, Maryland, represent. I always like when I hear Waldorf in the news. It always makes me, because it was a very high end, or not high end. It was a very built up area back when I was there. So it wasn't like a nothing area like I am now. But it's never a place you hear talked about. So it's always interesting when I hear my old hometown in the news. There's an issue of Ultimate Spider-Man back when that was really good, where this one villain, this like D-list villain called the Ringer, he was trying to trash talk in the middle of a fight and talk all gangster. And there's a line, and I never know why Bendis picked Waldorf, but the guy just goes like, straight up, yo, I'm from Waldorf, Maryland. And I remember reading that like, oh, my hometown. Oh, shout out there. Coming straight out of Waldorf. But yeah, that's
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you found it! Oh, Luke, you godsend! Can you send that to me? I love that.
Oh, here's the full page. Let me see if I can.
Man.
Here it is.
The Ringer shows up. He's like, straight up, yo, I'm from Waldorf, Maryland. Spider-Man's all like, I'm so confused. When did Maryland become cool? Oh man, God, you are a fucking godsend with the Google, man. I gotta tell you, you find shit.
What does that mean? Am I dreaming?
Ultimate Spider-Man was a great series back in the day. Great stuff. That's actually Shadowcat from the X-Men. He was dating her for a while in the Ultimate Universe. Like him and Mary Jane broke up for a little bit, and then he's just immediately nailing him some superhero pussy. And then she couldn't, like, the world knew that Peter Parker was dating like Kitty Pryde, so she couldn't be Kitty Pryde when she was out with Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man was a great read back in the day. So what else? What else is there to talk about? Like I said, official endorsement for what the hell was her name? Well, it doesn't matter. Fucking Sassy Black Woman. Official endorsement for Sassy Black Woman coming straight out of Waldorf, Maryland. She gets the Bechtloff podcast. Official fucking endorsement. I don't think it's gonna help her. In fact, if word gets out, it's probably gonna hurt her. But there it is nonetheless. Official endorsement. let's see what else did I want to talk about? I mean, they just everyone wants to talk about the Vox, adpocalypse and shit like that. Whatever. I mean, like I said earlier, it ain't gonna fucking affect me. I know that's like, oh, knock on wood. Yeah, I know. But it ain't gonna fucking affect me. Let's be real. Somebody says, who keeps playing the static sound? Yeah, that's just a little problem on Luke's end. No big deal.
You know what the Vox stuff reminds me of, though?
What's that?
This.
In the end, you will always kneel.
Not to men like you.
There are no men like me.
There are always men like you.
That was a fantastic line. You got to give that movie credit. That was a damn solid, powerful moment there. There are always men like you. Just contempt. Like, he knew that guy was gonna kill him. He's like, "Fuck you, I'm old. I'm gonna kneel. You suck my dick."
And it kind of makes the whole ending with the whole Infinity Wars all kind of dumb, because when you see this moment, you realize, oh, it's all go feminist at the end. Great.
Mm-hmm. Infinity War didn't end too bad. It really didn't. Now I suspect it's gonna go off the fucking.
Yes.
I'm not going to see fucking. I'm not in any hurry to see more MCU movies after this, but yeah, I think Infinity War was a solid capstone to it all. And I picked up the Batman Ninja Turtle animated movie, but I haven't had a chance to watch it. But I picked it up Wednesday. I'm hoping I can get able to sit down and watch it before Saturday, because I want to talk about it Saturday. I already don't like the character designs for the Ninja Turtle. Like, the way their heads are drawn, like Donatello's head in that in particular looks all fucking weird. Like, it's like he got his fucking head smashed in the door by Uma Thurman and Kill Bill or something. I don't know what's going on with that, but I just not enjoying it. But whatever, I'll give it a shot. It's probably gonna be fun. I mean, I just picked it up, anyway, so I might send you the digital code, Luke, just so you can watch it too, because I'm not going to use a digital code. What the hell else? Oh, yeah, the Purge. I mean, like I said earlier, I don't know what the future brings, so maybe I'm wrong, but I don't suspect these sorts of purges are ever going to affect me. If I do get showed, it's going to be because I laughed at some right-wing lolcow and he sicked his fans on me or something. That's what's going to happen to me. I guarantee it. Yeah. Let's see. Looking at the chat here. Oh, we got Nostalgia Wound. Yeah, if you want Nostalgia Wound, I can bring you on. Haven't had you on in a while. I can shoot you a link real quick. If you want to hop in, feel free. If you're not able to, no big deal. Hang on a second. Where is his? There we go. Social media. Cool. All right. Sent you a link in the old emails there. If you want to hop in, feel free. So he says, "It's just me or 2019 a boring year so far?" Yeah, not a ton of news stories. I'm gonna say not a ton of news stories here this year,
except the ones that are being exacerbated to no end.
The Purge is really interesting. I gotta say, like, the guy I just started writing them. I just started watching them, but the Revenge of the Sith guys, they've been shitting on Owen Benjamin and Vox and a bunch of other lolcows, that kind of thing. Bunch of other pretentious fucks. But they got demonetized, and of course Vox was gloating on his fucking blog. They've been shitting on Vox because Vox is trying to get this quote unquote streaming alternative called unauthorized.tv up, and it's just buggy, and Vox doesn't know what he's doing, and it's a big old mess, and there's all sorts of problems with it. So He has a post today, because they put up a video saying that they had been demonetized in this purge, and his post on his blog is, "My eyes are dry. Oh, the irony! The ankle biters they're the ones who came up with the Teddy Spaghetti thing for Vox Day, by the way. The ankle biters who have been attacking Owen and I for creating unauthorized have belatedly discovered why we created it in the first place." All right, they weren't attacking you for creating unauthorized, and you created it to suck your own dick. That's the other thing here. I used to be in a position where I wanted to believe in all this alternative media shit, and I wanted to believe in all the no. That's the biggest problem with people on the right, is that they're like, why did a guy like Richard Spencer, constantly shove his dumb fucking face in the spotlight instead of just quietly fund some candidates? Because he always wants that hot load of attention and glory on his fucking face. And that's what it's always fucking ego. Look, I don't dislike Vox. I don't hate Vox by any stretch. I've honestly read the man's writing since 2003. Enjoyed the man's writing. Alt Hero is pretty great. In many ways, he's the only one out of the Comicsgate guys doing anything worthwhile. Fucking Summer Helvetica is one of the best fantasy novels I've ever fucking read in my life. And like I said, I've enjoyed his blog for close to 2 decades. But Vox is an arrogant, thin-skinned cocksucker who lives 3 feet up his own ass, and always has been. Now, sometimes that arrogance serves him well, sometimes it doesn't. All right? But it's always been his problem. Now, hey, we all have fucking problems. I got some problems myself. Fucking lazy. All right? I'm unfocused, and a lot of times I'm not acting like I'm high up on, but I know these are my problems. Okay. I mean, Vox let Teddy Spaghetti get to him. Oh, they were calling me Teddy Spaghetti. Oh, fucking, what are you going to call the cyber police on him like you did on that kid in a wheelchair or something? Who cares? I'd have embraced that. Like Jordan Peterson embraced the lobster shit. Or embraced people calling him Kermit and shit. Because he has a bit of a sense of humor. Say what you will about Peterson, but he has a bit of a sense of humor about himself. And that's been the problem on this side. It's just fucking ego. That's always been the problem. Vox is actually doing some good stuff out there. I don't think unauthorized TV is going to go anywhere. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I don't think a streaming alternative to YouTube is even fucking viable. Okay, you got to remember all the government money most of these big tech people got to get this shit started. So no, I don't think unauthorized TV is going to go anywhere. I'd love for him to prove me wrong. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it's going to collapse either because the banks are going to yank the rug out from under him. The fucking the money lenders are going to yank the rug out from under him, or him and Owen are going to come to blows because Vox is an asshole and Owen is insane, or it's just going to collapse under its own weight because it's not viable. What was the one, BitChute or something like that did? And BitChute's still up. What was it? VidMe. VidMe is the one that went tits up. So again, love for him to prove me wrong. I'd love nothing more for him to prove me wrong. Okay? It's not going to fucking happen. All right? I'd love to win the goddamn Powerball this weekend. I'm not counting on it. I'm not leaving Friday telling my boss to suck my dick because I got a good feeling about this Powerball thing. To build your own platform. It's not going to fucking happen. Sorry to black pill everybody. It's not going to fucking work. Okay? Again,
on that road already.
Please prove me wrong. It's not going to fucking work. Okay? All right. But yeah, I'm so glad they got demonetized because they were calling me Teddy Spaghetti. So fucking what? And the reason they kept doing it is because they obviously pissed you off, which made it funny, okay? I swear, Vox has been on the internet for 20 fucking years and still hasn't figured out how to deal with trolls. Oh, they called me Teddy Spaghetti. Oh no. Better call the fucking cyber police. Good Lord. Hey, Nostalgia Wound. How's it going? Common Filth. Yeah, Common Filth. How's it going?
Don't dead name me.
I'm sorry. Common Spaghetti is here with us.
I'm spilling it everywhere.
Oh man.
Yeah, these just alternative platforms don't work because it's like people don't realize that there was video on the internet before YouTube. I would go on eBombs World and Albino Black Sheep and all that and download the the MP4s or .movs or whatever. But YouTube was the first one to really have an embedded streaming thing. And that's where I first found out about YouTube, was through forums, people linking videos in their posts. And it's just, the solution is not to build new platforms, because you have 14 years worth of videos on this one platform. And that's where everybody has uploaded their videos. You're not going to get an alternative.
Yeah. And look, Forney's pointed out before, there is constitutional grounds for treating these places more like a public space. I mean, the Supreme Court has ruled before that the more you open up your private business to the public, the more you have to treat it like public space. And that if you have a monopoly on the means in which speech takes place, you can't restrict free speech. So there's constitutional ground to go after these people if you could get Conservative Inc. to get, pull its head out of its ass for 3 seconds.
All you'd have to do is just issue by executive decree where revoking your status as limited liability corporations until you abide by constitutional law.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Trump could do this in a heartbeat. And, everyone wants to suck his dick and talk about the 9th dimensional Candyland, and he's just waiting until everything's in place to fucking make his move. And you know what? I'd love for that to be the fucking case. Okay, it's looking less and less likely by the day, but I'd love for that pleasant surprise to be something I wake up to in the next day or so.
Oh, it's incredible to me how it's like they think he has any interest in fighting these issues in the culture war that have been raging since at least 2014, since at least Gamergate. And it's like, if anything, he supports the positions held by the people we're fighting against. I mean, he's pro-gay, pro-trans, pro all this deviancy. So why would he? And he bitches about Saturday Night Live and wanting to regulate them using the fucking fairness doctrine. So he doesn't really give a fuck about his supporters getting. Because let's face it, without the internet intelligentsia, he wouldn't be fucking president. And shame on them for not seeing through his bullshit. But he needs to realize where these people actually did the heavy lifting for him. And he does nothing, because all he cares about is, oh, somebody's giving me attention. Let me retweet them. Oh, they're giving me more attention. That's all he gives a fuck about.
And he retweets somebody and then they get fucking doxxed and he does nothing to help them.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's ridiculous.
It just... And in part, I also blame. I've made this point before. I see a parallel to the religious right back in the day. Back in the religious right came to prominence in the late 70s. They were a major force in getting Reagan elected. Not the only force, obviously, but a major force. And and they remained powerful throughout the 80s, 90s, into the 2000s. They only collapsed in power right around the time the neocons collapsed, because they had married the neocons politically.
Yeah.
But they were a major force for most of my lifetime. And, when they got Reagan elected, they sat back for a couple years and they thought Daddy Reagan's going to give us all the things we want. And it didn't pan out that way. And they immediately regrouped and said, okay, we're not going to get the top-down change we want. He's given us some stuff we want. He's not giving us everything we want, whatever. We're going to get some congressmen elected. We're going to get some senators elected. We're going to get some mayors and some governors and some local state representatives and motherfuckers on school boards and county commissioners and goddamn dog catchers elected. And they built grassroots networks. Now, the alt-right went through a similar thing, the broad sense of the term, the dissonant right. They were a major force in getting somebody put in the White House. And Daddy President didn't give them everything they wanted. So did they regroup and say, okay, well, what are we going to do? Now, I mean, we're only, one election cycle into it so far, but did they regroup and say, okay, well, now we need to focus on, the grassroots stuff? No, they were too busy holding stupid fucking goon rallies to protect Southern participation trophies and fucking their mother-in-laws.
And to protect their graven images that they don't. It's like, where do these people come from? It's like you're getting rallied by a Jewish Yank who has nothing to do with the South even.
People still wanted to be like, oh, Charlottesville was a success. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I do people still even talk about that? I don't see any signs of it out in the real world outside of the edgelord sphere.
Nobody in the real fucking world remembers that shit.
Right.
Okay. But on the internet, people still want a Monday morning quarterback. Well, it was actually really a success if you think about it. Yeah, I guess if you fucking, stand upside down long enough that you start to get fucking lightheaded, yeah, I guess it might make sense. Oh.
It's a shame because it's like you got behind this guy who's just it's like at best it's like normie Republicans, but normie Republicans still think like, oh, it was a good idea to go into Iraq and we still got to support Israel and all the foreign policy snafus they get us into. They still think all that's good, and whatever's left of dissident thinkers, they're linked in with those retards now.
I mean, look, I'm gonna say full hog. I do not regret supporting Trump because at the time, what the fuck other choice was there? It looked like there was a shot. You had to take it. There was a shot at doing some change there. Had to be taken. But yeah, I'm not fucking happy with him. I think he's going to win 2020. I mean, because the Democrats are going to run Biden, and Biden's not going to fucking win. If they ran like Bernie or something, he'd have a real shot at taking it from him. But no, they're going to run Biden, and Biden's fucking disgusting. Nobody likes him. Nobody in the Democrats like. The Democrats are. I see like fucking leftists passing around the same creepy Joe memes as fucking rightists. Okay, like nobody fucking likes Joe Biden. All right, he's not gonna. It's gonna be like fucking Reagan Mondale shit if they run Joe Biden, and that's who they're gonna run. They're just because the DNC is insanely corrupt. I mean, the RNC is, but I mean the DNC has fucking confirmed kills. Okay, so the DNC is, they're gonna just give this to Biden. Doesn't vote. Fuck you. Votes go to trash. We're giving this to Biden, and anybody who says otherwise is going to die in a mugging where nothing is stolen. And they're going to give it to Biden, and he's going to lose. He's going to get his shit pushed in a major way. But then you know what, Republicans? You know what? You know what's going to happen in 2024? Fucking President AOC. I'm calling it. Okay, she's going to fucking run. She'll go fucking win. Okay, because there's nobody. Because Trump's not going to fulfill his campaign promises. And even if he does, and I'd love for him to do it, but even if he does, who the fuck is next in line?
And even if he does fulfill, like, think about the big one, the wall. Think about where the economy is trending right now. I don't know if you keep up with it, but it's getting bad. And so I think what's going to happen is if we get the wall, it's going to be used to keep us in. So it's going to get so bad here. We're like, fuck this. We need to go to Mexico.
Well, that's always been my hardcore fucking don't tread on me libertarian, objection to a wall 10 years ago was, well, you could just keep us in. Patriot Act. Bush could have put me in fucking Guantanamo Bay. So, I mean, yeah, that's a possibility. Who the fuck knows? That's the thing. Like, I say President AOC, but politics is so fucking weird anymore. I don't know where the fuck it's going. That's just all I can look at is look at the fucking direction we're going right now, and I can see down that road. But we're also fucking making left and right goddamn turns every step along the way. So I don't know where the hell we're going.
Well, it's like we have record numbers of illegals crossing the border right now. Homelessness is skyrocketing. And everybody's just like, oh, the economy's doing great. Well, yeah, if you have money already, that's how fractional reserve banking works. It's like a bubble pops. The people up the top suffer a little bit, but then they can gobble up all of the assets at pennies on the dollar.
The economic stuff. I mean, the money's worthless. The fiat currency. I mean, the only thing that keeps the dollar from collapsing is there's nothing to take its place. It's this delicate,
Well, it's really keeping it up is the fact that, for all the teeth and gnashing about Hitler, I don't think he dropped a nuke on anybody. Look at the only nation on Earth who dropped a nuke on somebody.
Oh, but don't you know nukes aren't real? You need to get woke. You need to watch some Owen Benjamin, okay?
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I heard that was from what's that guy Weave? I think that one alt-right, that one white nationalist with the crazy eyes. It's like a hacker or something. He was going on about how nukes aren't fucking real, but like Owen Benjamin latched onto that recently. He might have moved on from it because he latches onto ideas and then abandons them. But he was even saying like you could eat plutonium and not die.
I'm really glad I don't follow the edgy people anymore,
dude. Owen Benjamin's delightful. It is insane. Like, just I want you to imagine, like, just a lunatic screaming about Jews in his shed. That is the Owen Benjamin show. He's literally out in his shed trying to live stream OBS off of his fucking mobile hotspot. And then when it shits the bed, blaming the Jews at YouTube for throttling them. It's amazing. I'm actually gonna dig through some Owen Benjamin shit for the show because it's fucking delightful. Just screaming at his fans and fucking angry and crazy. Fucking going on about flat Earth and moon landing shit and nukes aren't real, you stupid cum drain Jew. That's the other thing. If you disagree with him, you must be a porn addict.
What?
Like that's clearly you're jacking off too much and losing all your precious seed, and that means that you can't comprehend Owen Benjamin's big brain nibba ideas. See, there's your problem. You jacked off this morning, and so now you're not on game enough to understand the flat Earth. And the reason is because he projects, because he admittedly had a porn habit, like a porn addiction, which supposedly he's overcome. Who the fuck knows with that guy? But, so clearly you are the porn addict because you disagree with him. Oh, he's fucking awesome. He is delightful, man.
Oh boy. It's just I'm really glad that I just don't I just what I do, I read what really happened because they have a lot of good links on there and a lot of good stories and investment watch blog and all that. And it's like the top level politics, I think, is really just it's a spectacle. It's all rigged to me, but it's useful to see what it says about the zeitgeist, the culture, because it's people just vote for the guy that they want to be like. It's like the most meaningful thing you can do in politics is at the local level because there's no real spectacle associated with it. And anytime the TV or mass media gets a hold of something, it's done. They can manipulate the masses so easily.
Honestly, and I say like, oh, the alt-right didn't get it candidates, but I'm guilty too. I've always thought like, one of these days I should run for school board and just knock on the door of every old fuck in my district or county or whatever it is, my school district, and say like, hey, if you elect me, I promise I'm never going to raise your property taxes. I'm going to vote against that every damn time.
Yeah.
And then, that'd be my number one thing. And then, maybe I could try and depause the curriculum. But every time they're like, oh, we got to raise property taxes because these kids need a new football field. Be like, yeah, these kids can go fucking play in the woods. How about that? We're not going to run grandma out of her fucking house so that these kids can play football. Okay. We're not going to do that.
I love this comic here that Luke's showing.
Well, I used to say like, if there's a boot on my neck, I don't care if it's the right or left boot. Of course, now I say I don't care if it's a government or private boot. I just want it off my fucking neck.
Well, it's like we have to consider where corporations get their status from. It's like you have to get permission from the government to be an LLC. You have to pay for that.
Yeah. I mean, and all this crap about the free market and all this other, like, look, I'm naturally inclined to want to be free market. But when people are like talking about all this online censorship, I want a free market solution to it. Well, setting aside the fact that, again, corporations are government-created entities, setting aside the amount of government money that these tech companies did, I want a free market solution. To me, you sound like a 6-year-old girl saying, I want a pony. That does sound great. I want to win the Powerball. I'd like to have my dick in Taylor Swift's mouth right now. We don't always get what we want.
It's like you said, people could have voted for Ron Paul at any point between 2008 and 2012, but they didn't because the TV didn't tell them to. That was your out right.
Well, yeah, all these Republicans that want to go on about, like, with the anti-usury laws, they want to go on about the free market and the poor banksters. Oh, won't somebody please think of the lenders when they talk about forgiving student loan debt or something like that? But it's like, you know what? These aren't a bunch of principled Ron Pauls. Okay, these are people that voted for TARP. So I don't want to hear it about the fucking free market from them.
Yeah, that ship has sailed. It's been sailed since 2008.
We don't talk to me about the Constitution or the free market, because we had a vote on that over a decade ago, and you cocksuckers voted no.
So that's why politics is just more useful to see what people are actually like. Well, and that's what they want. They want to maintain the appearance of the status quo. Nobody likes change. Everybody likes stability.
You know what I want in politics? I want Hoyer to lose his seat to Shanae, the shift manager from Popeyes.
You know what? It's a shift manager at Popeyes has seen more of real life than anybody. At least relative
no
to
kidding.
who's in Congress.
I'm reading. I'm like, this is fucking fantastic. I want Hoyer to lose his seat to an overweight black woman, single mother who brags about having gone to jail and had an abortion. That, I think, that would be such poetic justice. I want him to watch the results that day, and I would pay virtually every dime in my checking account right on the spot to see the look on his face in that moment.
This guy even just looks like the stereotypical boomer.
Like, I want to be in the room and just be like, scream, like, how's it taste, motherfucker? Let me drink the sweet milk of your tears. Oh yes, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Oh, dude, I welcome it. Like I said, she is the official Bechtloff podcast endorsement. Don't think it's going to help her, but she has it nonetheless.
What does it say about millennials that it's like the first time that they have any sort of real voting pull? It's like we get like nothing but boomer presidential candidates.
Well, I mean, and now we're getting all these goofy millennial progressives.
And there's no in between.
Honestly,
everybody's a spiritual boomer.
Trump won because of the showmanship. And I'll tell you something interesting. This is another thing to keep in mind. That I think is interesting. I think the guy to keep an eye on is Ted Cruz on the right. Now, Ted Cruz is the guy I probably would have supported, if Trump hadn't been in the race. Maybe Rand Paul, whatever. But I like Ted Cruz. I think he learned something from Trump. And I'm noticing a lot of showmanship from Ted Cruz. Like on Halloween, he tweeted out like some picture of like Zodiac signs or something, going with the Zodiac killer meme, and just said Happy Halloween. That's fantastic. He plays the game of memes and stuff on Twitter just enough. Like he doesn't fuck around all day on Twitter, but he plays the game a little bit to know that you can tell he's not completely out of touch there. He's somebody who actually has tried to fight from his position against all the online censorship. I say there's nobody on the right after in 2024 that could possibly win the presidency. But maybe Ted Cruz. Maybe Ted Cruz. Even if Trump was a fucking failure his 8 years and got none of his, Ted Cruz could go off that and say, look, guy was an amateur, didn't know what he was doing. You elect me, I'm going to get shit done.
Well,
he talked a big game, didn't know what he was doing. And I tried to warn you about that 8 years ago, but now I'm going to come out. He is the one guy on the right I think could actually rise to the top come 2024.
He's got my vote.
He's the only guy, only Republican, only not even Republican, only guy in the Senate or Congress who's actually said boo about what Facebook, what Google is doing.
Yep,
how they're censoring certain ideas to the benefit of certain people.
Like I said, he's learned a little bit of showmanship watching Trump. He's not the awkward guy he was. Remember the joke? Somebody put up a fake website of Ted Cruz for human president, where the joke was he's actually an alien in disguise, where he's like, I've lost my election bid, and now I will go hibernate for a length of time you humans consider normal. Just funny stuff like that. But he's learned from that. Okay, he had self-awareness about it. He's learned. Maybe it was just he had really good, advisors who have said, no, you gotta embrace the jokes. Okay, but he's learned from it. I think he's somebody who 2024 might be able to take it. Again, he's the only guy in the landscape right now I could see that could beat AOC. Because I'm telling you, y'all laugh at the AOC memes, but those are shit boomer tier memes. I am telling you, AOC is charming. AOC is popular among your constituents. That's a woman that if we're not careful, that's going to be our next fucking president. I'm going to tell you that right now. And like, oh, she's so goofy. Like, nobody cares. Like, you show like the Instagram video of her being all white girl drunk, putting together IKEA furniture, rambling about global warming and shit. But like, that's fucking endearing to like half the country. Okay. Like, see, everybody underestimates her in the same way they underestimated Trump. We're like, oh, she's goofy, she's a joke, whatever. But like when I was supporting Trump, I didn't give a shit about all the goofy stuff he said. I didn't give a shit about all the dumb shit he said. Like, I knew he was not a politician, and that was part of his fucking appeal. Okay? So the fact that she's not a seasoned politician, she's going to say dumb, goofy shit, that's going to be endearing to a whole section of people. And so many people on the right just, oh, she's just a joke. She's just a crazy socialist lady. Look, I found this unflattering picture of her where her eyes look kind of buggy. Fucking meme, right? Like, no, it's not going to work. Okay, it is every bit as sad as, remember when the left used to show like that picture of Trump like with this weird grimace on his face, pointing his finger up or something, like, look, I found a picture where he looks really goofy. I found an unflattering picture. That's a meme, right? Like, no, that's sad. That's shit tier meme, okay? And it's just a bunch of fucking Fox News watching boomers doing the same shit with AOC, and they think that's gonna knock her down. It's not gonna work. There it is. Luke found that picture. It's like they've always thrown that picture of him like biting his lip with his finger up. It's like, look, this counts as an argument, right? Like, no, it's not gonna. It doesn't. No, it doesn't. Okay.
They really should show the one of him groping Ivan's ass.
But yeah, they show that one picture where like AOC looks like weird bug eyes, like crazy ex-girlfriend or something, and they're like, this counts as a meme, right? Like, no, okay. Believe me, she's looking pretty damn fine in that picture Luke's got up right now. Okay, she's not an unphotogenic candidate. So yeah, the idea. Oh well, she's crazy. Look, I found an unflattering picture of socialist lady. That's a meme, right? No, Grandpa, that's not a meme. All right. So yeah, everybody wants to underestimate her, but I'm telling you, man, that woman's primed to be our next president.
Well, I don't estimate her at all. She is a dangerous person. She should never be in a position of power.
Yeah. Again, the Green New Deal shit is the really dangerous stuff, because that's just, it's a solution to a problem that isn't even really a problem. And if it was really a problem, it wouldn't work. And the side effect is going to be further impoverishing everybody on this fucking continent. So yeah, that stuff is batshit. Okay.
But I do love the hubris that she had when she had made that video of her prediction of the future and how her deal was the first of the greatest thing that ever happened to the future. Like how much supreme arrogance you had to think that you've made the future happen.
That's just the mindset of anybody born after 1985. We think we invented everything.
Hey, I'm 83 over here, so I'm proud to say I'm kind of like millennial, but also a little Gen Xer. I'm right along that fucking demilitarized zone between generations. But yeah, I'm telling you, that woman, she is going to be the next president. At this point, I'm saying if Ted Cruz doesn't fucking stop her, all right.
Well, it's basically guaranteed that in 2024 a Democrat will be president. It's like every model. It's like, who's the last guy to not win his second term? It was Bush 1.
Oh, Trump will win. Like I said, Trump will win his second term because there's vulnerabilities, but they're not going to be able to do anything about it. I mean,
right? But
Democrats,
yeah,
like I said, they're going to run Biden, and Biden's going to get his shit pushed in. Okay, nobody's going to vote for Biden. Okay, did you see how stupid his campaign is? Did you see that picture where he put like each letter is a picture of Biden in his name, and then for like the N, it's fucking Barack Obama. It's him with Barack Obama.
Oh wait, is he like calling him the N-word?
Well, that was, everyone's like, bro, what are you doing there? Like it's like BI, and it's like one picture of Biden with doing something, and it's like, DE, and it's like one picture of Biden doing something, and then it's like N, and it's a picture of him with Barack Obama. And like his fucking campaign tweeted that shit out, and everybody was like, like a bunch of people on the right were joking, like, "Oh, is Biden red pilled? What's going on here?" And I'm like, dude, that is really fucking incompetent. Like that's how you're running your campaign, dude. When you're not busy smelling the hair of 8-year-old girls. Good Lord, dude.
Joe.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe's not going to be president. Sorry to tell you this, guys. I know the Democrats, I know the DNC is just going to give him the nomination, but no, it's not going to happen. Sorry to tell you. If Bernie ran, he might be able to take it from Trump. Trump is vulnerable in a lot of ways, and if Bernie, ran a campaign where he just fucking cooled it with the Democrat anti-white male shit, maybe he'd be, and really just appeal to working class people, he might be able to take it from Trump.
Right, and they don't give a fuck about class issues, and that's really where they need to hammer it. What has Trump ever done to put the screws to a corporation? They're making record profits as more and more people. I think like 70% of, somewhere between 59 and 70% of people are living paycheck to paycheck. What does that tell you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, if any of them are just like, why the fuck is he helping corporations? Was he supposed to help you?
I mean, like
but
I
no,
said,
people still believe in this trickle down economics bullshit. Boomerism is still the dominant ideology, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's and like I said, the Democrats just have a natural momentum on their side in 2024. I mean, even if Trump got his if the ninth dimensional Candyland shit kicked in, and all the campaign promises started getting, we got the fucking wall up, and we got, we got a wall up with Hillary Clinton's skull decorating it. It doesn't, even if he like drains the swamp, all he'd be doing is getting rid of the old DNC to make room for the AOCs. I mean, there's I'm telling you guys, some of you have said I'm crazy on this. as it stands right now, and a lot can happen politically in 5 years, certainly. But as it stands right now, 2024, President AOC. It's just, there's your black, and that's the other black pill, like, oh, Bechtloff, you're so black pilled. Well, not really. Okay, because the thing about it is like, I've made my peace with God. Let's dance. All right, like, like I might get show it off to YouTubes at some point. A big fucking deal. I'll find something else to do on a Saturday. It'll piss me off, and I'll scream about it and curse about it for a day, and I'll look up to the heavens and shake my fist at my maker. What the hell, man? And then I'll get over it. He'll look down at me and say, "You done?" Like, yeah, I guess. And then we'll move on. Okay, like it's not a big deal. There's a lot of other things I could do on a Saturday. It sucks. If it happens, it sucks. But but yeah, a lot of people are gonna get fucking showed. And the only people in position to do anything about it aren't fucking doing anything about it. All this alternative media shit, again, love for you to prove me wrong. It ain't gonna fucking go anywhere. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, it's just, you're being so black-pilled. You ain't gonna, like, E. Michael Jones. By the way, I'm pretty sure E. Michael Jones is the retard who started the Logos Rising crap that all these Spurgs are going on about. I've traced it as far back as him. Like, that's as far back. I think he's the guy that started that fucking trend. It's like the Pogs of fucking trad Catholic Spurgs. But
is he trying to position himself as like the next Jordan Peterson?
He's like the cat, like, yeah, but he is the Jordan Peterson of Catholic 19-year-olds that claim they haven't kissed a girl by choice. That's who E. Michael Jones is.
You know what the tragic irony of it all is all these racist, quote unquote Catholic 19-year-olds. Why are you adopting the religion of your fucking invaders?
Well, yeah, don't get me started on the fucking Catholic Church. I swear that, Anti-Dem is a guy I've had on the show numerous times. Love the guy to death. I've had him in my home.
He was one of my earliest followers.
I've had him in my home. All right, love the guy to death. Had him in my home multiple times. But there are times when he starts really, really defending the Catholic Church where he just makes it sound like it's just a really effective scam. Getting people like it just, it gets people to fucking behave. It's I'm like, that doesn't make it true. But no, like I said, love the guy to death, but whatever. But yeah, E. Michael Jones going on about the Logos, right? And he puts up something on Twitter where I guess he got demonetized on his channel, and he's like, "You're not going to stop the Logos Rising and all this other shit." It's like, you're not going to do shit. Okay, you're not going to do a fucking thing. All right, you're going to spurg about it, you're going to whine about it, and you ain't going to do shit. All right, what are you're going to go to unauthorized TV and fucking have Vox not? By the way, Vox is apparently not paid Owen Benjamin. Maybe this has gotten cleared up, but I've seen like fucking clips where Owen Benjamin, in the middle of his fucking Adderall fueled rants, is going on about how I'm still waiting on that money from Vox. I bet he's still waiting on that money from Vox. So it's.
Holy shit.
I don't know, man. This whole thing's like a fucking. It's. Oh, Bechtloff, you're so black pill. You're so like.
And here's the response I'd give to people who use the X pill vernacular. You're using a dialectic invented by two brothers who now think that they're sisters.
Well, here's the thing, because I often used to use the phrase that when I was shitting on quote unquote black pill people, I'd be like, the black pill is a suppository.
That could very well apply to the red as well.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think most of these fucking pills are suppositories. It's like that Futurama bit. I can't swallow that. Well, good news. But no, I'm not black pilled. Okay, again, I've made my peace with God. Okay, whatever will come. There's a lot of things in this life I fear. Being demonetized off YouTube ain't one of them. But no, I'm not black. Like, I'm not telling you not to be involved. I'm not telling you to not try and make the world a better place. Okay, like, get involved in politics by all means. Okay, Read interesting blogs that have different perspectives. Watch interesting videos. Listen to all sorts of perspectives. Try and broaden your horizon. Listen to people you vehemently disagree with. By all means, get involved in your local GOP, and try and bring about some change. Okay, do what you can. Not telling you not to. Okay, a quote unquote black pill motherfucker says, "Oh, there's nothing you could do. Just give up." I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not even saying that Vox Day should just not even try on authorized TV. Again, would love for him to prove me wrong. The thing I'm saying is I don't think it's the best strategy. A, I don't think it's going to work, the alternative media thing. B, I think it's a lot of fart huffing. Okay, it's a lot of arrogant, ego-driven motherfuckers and want to suck their own dick, want to maybe get some sweet payday, cash out just in time kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just. I'm not telling you don't be involved. I'm not telling you don't try and make the world a better place. Whatever. Try and raise a family. Go to church. Be involved in your fucking local church. Get involved in politics. Fine, do all that shit. Okay, but just don't sit around circle jerking and thinking you're making a difference. Okay.
Well, and the problem with something like whatever he's doing, I'm not familiar with it, but it's like if it's just another one of these tech offshoot websites, you have to understand it's a scam. It's a scam run by people who have unlimited access to venture capital. And it's like you can't run these things and be profitable as soon as you start them up. These things are by design loss leaders. They're not making any money, and you're never going to take your company public so that you can start being profitable, because you could sell stock in your company. You could sell shares in your company. That's how these companies are profitable. That's what they're betting on, is that enough suckers will be like, I'll buy shares in your company. They get the money from that. But guess what? You're never going to get that far because of who you are and what you believe.
Yeah. And, part of the problem, obviously, with these companies not being profitable, they shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, super chats are the first chance YouTube had at being profitable. And, they just demonetized the fuck out of everyone that was raking in super chats. So,
whatever anybody thinks about Rue, she had a great article about how the purpose of corporations is not to make money. Because if it was, then they just let everybody do whatever the fuck they want through their platforms. But that's obviously not going to be the case.
Yeah, if I ran something like YouTube or Twitter, the only is it if it's legal speech, it's allowed speech. Boom, there you go.
And the other irony is, like, all these people are like, duh, anti-white propaganda. It's like, you do realize that white nations are the ones spearheading this whole hate speech bullshit, and that's what these companies are modeling themselves after. They're modeling themselves after European style governance, which is to suppress any sort of airing of grievances, and that these are their terms of service are written in accordance to European law, not American law.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like people need to realize that it's like some shit's flawed, and some people are more to blame than others.
Good news! It's a suppository.
Indeed. Oh, you're so black-pilled. But like I said, you want to support unauthorized TV, the streaming alternative, fine, whatever. I suspect that, there's any number of reasons I suspect it's going to collapse. But hey, maybe I'm fucking wrong. What do I know? Again, I'd love to be proven wrong.
You just have to look at the odds of it. It's like, oh, the black pill this. It's like, press these people on that who use a stupid pill vernacular. They think that information is a pharmaceutical that they can pick and choose, and it's ridiculous. But it's like, press them on. Is society getting better? Are things really on the up and up, or are they deteriorating? I think something is, if you weigh all of the trajectories that we're on, the bad outweighs the good by a significant margin. And it's not nihilistic to point that out, to say like things are getting worse, and they think like, oh, that's defeatism. No, that's reality. It's like, hell, I don't live in like some significant place. They're having drag queen story. I didn't know this. Drag queen story hours at the local library here. It's like, I don't live in any sort of hotbed for anything.
God damn, I'm such a live and let live guy at heart. I really am. Like I don't want to all the like I don't want the government in my bedroom, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want the government in your bedroom either. I don't want your bedroom on Main Street paraded in front of children.
But they barely make that argument because they do want the government in their bedroom. In fact, they want the government to put a camera right there and broadcast it to the entire world. That's what they want.
I just leave the fucking kids alone, and I wouldn't care. All right, I'm not one to throw stones. Okay, I've said before on here, if I didn't have my faith, I'd have been a Cenobite by now. All right, trust me, I could go down that rabbit hole myself. All right, but just leave the fucking kids alone. And furries, you need to leave the dog alone.
They're not capable of doing it. What does the gay rights platform from 1972 say? We need to abolish age of consent. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, not reform or adjust it, mind you. No, it needs to be abolished. Okay.
Here's a good story for you about one of the actually a second drag queen story hour library reader exposed as a convicted child sex offender.
Jeez.
He didn't have things like that in his day. So I played along and I said, well, of course not, Socrates. This is the modern world. This is progress. And then he asked me to define my term.
Child rape.
Good Lord. All right. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because it's almost 5 a.m. here on the East Coast.
I was going to ask you what you're doing up so late.
Well, it's almost early. That's how late I'm. Well, I'm on a second shift schedule, so I don't I don't even get home till 1 a.m. right now this week. So, a lot of people, like I have buddies that are like, "Why do you sleep so late? Why are you up so late? Like, why don't you just go to bed right when you get home from work?" I'm like, I don't know, but I don't know. Why don't you go to bed at like 5 in the afternoon?
Yeah, I actually kind of miss doing that. There's something comfy about driving home at 3 a.m.
I'm no kidding. I love the late nights. I really do. If I do win the Powerball on Saturday, you can rest assured that my first dream I'm going to make come true is that I never have to get up before noon again. All right. I am a night guy. All right. This is my time to shine. When all them normies are out. Now this all that fresh air and sunshine's bad for you. I go out in the middle of the day. I'm like, why is the moon on fire? Good Lord. That's not even like drag queen. That looks like some sort of demonic clown.
And he's not even the first.
Oh, what is going on, man?
Let's see. I think, it said that according to criminal records uncovered by a Houston master-resistant activist, Dees was convicted in 2004 of sex crimes against 4 young children ages 4, 5, 6, and 8.
4, 5, 6, and 8. It's not even like, you got caught with your teenager or something. No, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Fuck that guy.
Right, and he's doing this as a 16-year-old.
I used to say and I guess I still kind of think it. I just don't fucking say it anymore. Like I've thought for the longest time that age of consent laws could use some sort of reform, because I've seen stories where to like a teenage girl and a teenage boy were sending each other dirty pictures, and one of them gets charged with child pornography. Or the 19-year-old has his life ruined because he got caught with his 17-year-old girlfriend. Yeah. And that's not cool. That's that's not how things should be. But then it's like, how can you even bring that up without sounding like you're on board with the Todd Nickerson crowd?
It's best to just leave it alone.
Yeah, I don't even talk about it much anymore because it's like, I don't want to sound like it's sort of like what happened when Black Lives Matter came about, in that like before that I was big on like talking about police brutality and out of control cops a lot. And then Black Lives Matter happened, and I couldn't bring that up without sounding like I'm standing up for the good boy that didn't do nothing.
Right. Oh yeah.
We completely poisoned the well on something that we should have been talking about.
That Black Lives Matter was just a complete psyop on white people to get to accept the militarization of the police, which they're victims of. You don't know how many stories there are. You probably
I kind of thought that myself. I sort of thought like, man, if I wanted to make a police state, I would make the media only focus on cases of police brutality that turn out to be utter horseshit.
Right. And it's like you see like Chicago police gunning down some 90-year-old man in a walker. You hear stories all the time of SWAT teams breaking into the wrong house, killing the family dog, or worse.
Well, yeah, even during the Black Lives Matter thing, I remember the one where it's like, this guy was selling loosies up in New York. He was selling loose cigarettes, and yeah, this is illegal. You weren't supposed to be doing it. This cop choked the motherfucker to death.
Right. Instead of giving him
I don't think that was called for.
Right. Instead of giving him a ticket, he chokes him out.
They just choking us, but am I going to have to choke a bitch? Apparently, so how about that?
Yeah, and I know that it worked because it's like I shared a story, in my waning days on Twitter. I shared a story where it was like, oh, Trump's given military weapons to more local police departments. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And everybody's like, oh, what? You want minorities to loot peacefully in their communities? Like, motherfucker, you think this is going to be used against them or you?
Positioning the exception as the rule and inciting your oblivious viewership to action based entirely on that willful misrepresentation is job eins of any Goebbels-style propagandist movement.
All right. Well, like I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Let me double check real quick. Chat. See if everything's super chats. I doubted it because it's so ridiculously ridiculous hours of the morning here. But folks, if you do enjoy the content I put out, do consider supporting the show. We got the PayPal, Patreon, and Amazon wish list, which are all ways you can support the show. And Luke, thanks as always for your sidekick duties. Common Phil, thanks for hopping on.
Thank you.
I always feel honored that I'm the last guy you can up here with.
I'm like a ghost that only appears in like one place.
Some say it haunts the Bechtloff podcast, the ghost of Common Phil Radio. All right, and that's all we got for today. Y'all are probably getting ready to go to work if you listen to this right now. And that's it for tonight. Bechtloff out.